tell you, kick it off and start it. I told you, we're going to brag on our God. And if you don't know him, just ask somebody. You better ask somebody. Let me tell you about him. It is an absolute delight to introduce this next presenter. Her name has such a flair, Wyomme Pariss. I just added that French part, Paris. Wyomme Pariss. Now, Wyomme is extremely talented. Go ahead, ladies, because I'll then, so you can bring the chairs, maybe 3 over there and 3 over here. She is very multi-talented. Many of her family and friends call her Y. She is a native New Yorker. Whoop, whoop. She's a lady who wears many hats. Wyomme is a visionary and creator of her first stage production, Then Sings My Soul, a musical with a message on domestic violence, which has premiered in DC and New York. Wyomme is an actress, producer, songwriter, and soul-stirring vocalist who has garnered her much praise. She had the pleasure of traveling the country as lead background vocalist with many great Stellar and Grammy Award winners, as well as she has gone to Paris, France, Italy, singing gospel music. Additionally, Wyomme is actively involved with several women organizations, Sister for Sister Network, Black Girls Rock DMV, and founder of Sisters Helping Sisters, which is a domestic abuse on young girls. Wyomme currently co-hosts the talk show Four Sisters Live with 3 other wonderful sisters, Peggy, Linda, and Charlene. Wyomme is excited to be a contributing author of Sisters for Sisters Network upcoming book release, The Power of Sisterhood. I tell you, it reads, but this is some good stuff, because let me get down to this. Wyomme's film credits include House of Cards, featuring Kevin Spacey, Boomerang featuring Eddie Murphy, Jason's Letter featuring Vivica A. Fox. She is a proud mother of her son, Reggie Reg, and who's also an accomplished musician. I'm going to go on and on, but all right. Y'all saw that big, beautiful banner up there. So my first book was Tomorrow My Sunshine Will Come, Memoirs of Women Who Survived Domestic Violence. Well, God had placed it in my heart to write another one, but not just where I'm writing it on my own. He placed it in my heart to reach out to Wyomme. So we are co-collaborating on When Evil Wears a Smile. It will be out this fall. So when you make your way to the table, you can let us know if you wish to be contacted for a copy of the book, which will be sold $15 autographed by us, or you can get it online distribution. So When Evil Wears a Smile, that's our co-collaboration. That's us. I'm excited to have this sister queen come up to the stage. You do your thing. Please give her a round of applause.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am truly excited to be here this morning for this awesome conference. This is my sister friend. She is such an awesome lady. Let's give Jennifer Foxworthy a round of applause. She is awesome. She is a loving sister. She's always smiling, and I really appreciate her for all that she's done in my life and what we're doing together with God with us on our side. Yes, When Evil Wears a Smile is going to be an awesome book. I'm claiming it, but y'all just pray that my mind start getting together and my fingers and my hands start to writing because it is a task that I am being challenged to do, but I'm up for it. As she said that I am also, I have a play that I created called Then Sings My Soul. And I'm going to go through some things today just to give you a snippet of where Then Sings My Soul is about and how it deals with domestic violence against our women, men, and of course our children, our families are suffering still now through the pandemic. We cannot sweep it under the rug. We cannot ignore it. So today, for my time, I want you all to bear with me, bear with these ladies. These are my demonstrations for today. Give them a round of applause, will you? Every day we face an it. We do not like to talk about it. We tend to shy away from it. We tend to sweep it under the rug. It doesn't care who it hurts. This it is nasty, awful, dangerous, demonic, disrespectful. This it is identified as domestic violence. Domestic violence is happening to many women, men, and families of all nationalities across the globe. During this pandemic, thousands of women with children were being abused and they were put out in the streets needing food and shelter. There are women who are hurt, angry, and frustrating and needing a way out. They are kicked, slapped, and told they're worthless. They are tired. They've been burned and bruised and thrown away like trash. They're hurt by the ones who say that they love them the most. When they lash out, they get punished, and yes, they even have gotten locked up. They just want to be free, just want to be free. Domestic violence doesn't discriminate, doesn't matter of your origin, your religion, your professional background, nor your ethnicity. Statistics show that 1 in 4 women and 1 in 9 men experience some form of abuse, be it verbally, physically, sexually, emotionally, financially. Now, from my stage play, as I said, I'm going to demonstrate some ladies and I'm going to give you some of their stories. You have Lindsay, Frances, Evelyn, Tanya, Catherine, and Sheila. Their stories may make you uncomfortable, but take a moment to think about what you would do if you were in an abused situation. You, your daughter, your mother, or sister or friend could be facing physical, verbal, mental, or emotional abuse on a daily basis. How do you get help? How do you make the abuser accountable and take responsibility for their actions? How do you heal? Healing begins with confronting the problem. Now I'm going to introduce you to Lindsay. Lindsay is 30, a multi-platinum recording artist, and she travels across the world. At first, I got compliments, but then folks started asking me if I was sick. I laughed it off and even got mad and called them haters because I looked so good. But one day I had a recording session scheduled and I woke up with a pounding headache and could barely move. I went to brush my teeth and started coughing up blood. I looked in the mirror and the dark circles around my eyes made me look like a zombie. I then called my sister and asked her to come over, and she took one look at me when she came and rushed me to the emergency room. When the doctor examined me, it just seems like he ran like a million tests. And when he was finally done, he came in the room and he asked me, how long had I been living with HIV? You could have bought me for 2 cents. I went home and I hid for months and I locked the door. I was so ashamed. Next, Evelyn. Evelyn is married to a pastor. who constantly abuses her at home and in church. God, you said you would never leave me nor forsake me. Well, right now, I need you more now than ever. I thought marrying a godly man would be a blessing. I thought all my worries and fears would go away. How can a man who preaches your word with such passion and conviction could be so cool and cold to his wife? I've tried to be the perfect wife. I cook, I clean, I make sure the finances are in order, but nothing is good enough for him. Whatever I don't do what he wants me to do exactly the way he wants it, he gets angry. He hits me, he chokes me, he even asks me to get on my knees and beg him for forgive me for making him so mad. I don't know how much more I can take, Lord. I know you see everything. I know you know all things. I know that you will give me peace in the midst of my storm. But my husband tells me he's leaving me. He's in love with someone else. He says, I can't take it anymore. I don't know if he's leaving me for another woman or for a man. Oh, God, I can't think about that. Oh, I can't think about that, God. God, is this your will for my life? Is this my destiny? I made a vow to love this man for better or for worse. I feel like I'm going to drown in this, God. God, I need you. I need you right now, God, to save my life. Tanya. Tanya is 20 and she's a young woman who was served 25 years for stabbing and killing of her stepfather, who constantly raped her, her stepfather. 25 years, I'll be 42 years old. They should have just given me life. Who's gonna want a 42-year-old convict? This ain't even right. I was the one who got raped by my mother's nasty husband. He don't even get the title of stepfather because he violated me in the worst way. That fool took my future. I was going to be a doctor. I had a full scholarship. But when my dad passed, I was only 12. I was devastated. He was my protector, my hero. My mom tried to raise me by herself for a couple of years, but she got lonely, and I understand. But why that dude? All he did from day one was yell at her and look at me like I was Sunday dinner or something. He was disgusting. My mom wouldn't listen to me. When I told her he was staring at me in the middle of the night, she said he was just me having nightmares. She would try to send me away, but I begged her to let me stay. I thought I could protect her from him. I was the one who needed protection. He went from staring at me to laying down in the bed with me. He did that for about 2 weeks without touching me. I guess he was trying to convince my mom he could be trusted. Then one night, he locked the door and just started taking his clothes off. He was drunk and he held me down and just started doing it until there was blood everywhere. I begged him to let me go and clean myself up. When I got out of the room, I went straight to the kitchen and I grabbed the biggest knife I could find. He came out of the room stumbling. And as he came out towards me, I just jumped on him and kept pushing and pushing and pushing until he didn't move. My mom came stumbling out of the room and started screaming, "You killed him!" Then she called the police and had me arrested. The judge said that because I went to the kitchen and got the knife, and after he raped me, it was premeditated. He said I should have just ran out of the house. This sick fool took my virginity, got me pregnant. My mom made me get an abortion before my sentencing. No future, no baby, 25 years in jail. They should have just given me life. Francis. I'm a 62-year-old grandmother, raising my only granddaughter after losing my own other daughter to domestic violence. I never knew she had a secret, one that she had to keep even from me. She told Gran everything, but not this. And now while she lies in the hospital in a coma, I'm angry all over again. I'm about to lose my baby, the one that was supposed to make it, the one that was supposed to take care of me. If she could have only told me, Gran, I would have understood that she was keeping a secret that was in her, that this love that she had with this man, he was beating her. I was mad for 30 years, and my husband, God rest his soul, would have hurt himself before he hurt me. But that man loved me. But this thing my grandbaby's in, ain't no love. No love doesn't hurt like this. That ain't no man who hurt my baby. That's a boy. A man doesn't put his hands on a woman he says he loves. But this boy setting my baby on fire out of jealousy. That ain't love, that's crazy. He didn't even blink when the police came to pick him up. And he was cold and low down. He's going to jail for a long time. But what about my baby? Catherine. Catherine is a defense attorney, and she goes to court to defend these women who are caught up in a domestic abuse. I'm a lawyer, and I see cases of abuse and violence against women every day. I've seen so many women come into my office with stories of how they love their mate and just want to be loved in return. At first, I will admit, I was judgmental. I didn't have any compassion for these women. I was defending them. Why not just walk out? I mean, leave in the middle of the night if you're that scared. He has to go to sleep sometime. Yes, that's actually what I used to say. But as time went on, I came to understand that these women had children and lives they had built. Some had no other family to turn to. Some had been told that divorce was not an option and to just stick it out. And some of these women just genuinely loved their spouse and wanted to stay and just try to make things work. They didn't realize that there comes a point when by tolerating abuse of any kind, you are saying it's okay. I have tried so many cases where women retracted their statements after being threatened with more violence. Women who wanted to keep their children from having to grow up without two parents in the home. Then there was these judges. Those who think that were on the other side, you would think they were on the other side of justice, but for some reason took the abuser side. I have stood before judge after judge who dismissed case after case due to lack of evidence. I watched women beg these judges to reconsider and save their lives, but nothing would sway them. The judge would bang that gavel, and when it was another painful blow to the woman who had been taking punches far too long. So that's the reason why I'm here, to get some clarity and try to make a difference. I have wanted to give up so many times because the system is in the favor of the abuser and not the abused. Something has got to change soon. I have so much pain. I have so much pain that I just don't know how much more I can take. Sheila. Sheila is literally at this time during her marriage. Her husband's a police officer. He beat her and beat her when they were on their honeymoon. He started beating her. But now he beat her one day until he killed her, and he's a police officer. I told you this would happen. I begged you to be gentle and kind. I pleaded for my life, but you couldn't hear me. You always said you didn't mean it. You always said you'd never do it again. You were always so sorry. Even that night when you pushed me into the wall with all your might, the last words I heard you say is, I'm sorry. Before you took my life, I tried to get you help. I was the one being hurt, but I tried to get you help. I even tried to leave you, but you kept finding me. I tried going to the police, but what a joke that was. You had more protection than I did, and I needed it the most. I went to the courts, and even the judge wouldn't hear me. It's insufficient funds. Insufficient evidence. Funds is one of them too. My earthly life is gone. My babies will have to grow up without a mother. And since my death was ruled an accident, you get to be free. But I hold no bitterness in my heart. My soul is at peace, but I see you're not. You need to make things right with the children. They need to know that they still have a family. They need to know that they can still achieve their dreams and be happy. Don't let my babies get swallowed up in this crazy world. Protect them, love them, be there for them. That's the only way you can have real peace. God wants you to be the king He created you to be, the king I know that is inside of you. Ladies and gentlemen, children grow up witnessing domestic violence. This is a serious offense and it affects them dearly. Frequent exposure to violence in the home not only prejudges children to numerous social and physical problems, but also teaches them that violence is a normal way of life, therefore increasing their risk of becoming society's next generation of victims and abusers. No one, man nor woman, should be treated less than human. Kings, love your queens. Love your queens. Queens, love your king. Through it all, women know without a shadow of doubt, they are delivered, courageous, triumph, undefeated, survivor, strong woman. I want every woman that is present, if you care to stand, I want you to repeat this affirmation after me. And I want you to say it loud and strong. I am a woman. I am a backbone. I am a mother. I am a wife. I am a daughter, a sister, a lover, a woman. I hurt, I bleed, and I cry, but still a strong woman. But still a strong woman. But still a strong woman. And turn to the sister next to you and say, I am a queen. I am a queen. Thank you, and God bless you.